What are your feelings about the American dream? Like, what is the American dream? Is it real? Has it changed? And do we need to let go of that idea entirely?
Yeah, so I would certainly say, at least in terms of an aspiration, what I think America stands for a lot of people in the US, immigrants around the world. I know when I was in India as a kid, I always thought of America as kind of the place where you could do anything if you could just get there. And as I started to study those issues myself, I think of myself as kind of trying to study the science of opportunity using big data. And when you really look at the data, it's disappointing, I think, relative to what I had hoped and what I think a lot of people view as the ideal image. America does not, in fact, give many kids a great chance of rising up, particularly kids born into lower income families in certain neighborhoods and so forth. Now, in a relative sense, compared to other lower income countries, of course, there are still great opportunities in America relative to growing up in a very low income country. But compared to many places in Europe or Scandinavian countries, it's not so clear.
But I wonder if you asked people, if your parents are in that bottom quintile, what's the chance the child will make the top quintile? I wonder if you surveyed the public, would they guess that's, 2%, 3%? I mean, actually, it's nowhere near 20%, and that's probably too high a goal, probably unachievable, but, it's not zero.
But it's not 100, which is what I think that's the lie that we're told, is that people have a 100% possibility to move their status.
No, you have the possibility. The adversity, there are some people who are amazing who are forged by that very tough stuff. Right. Now, it's a small percentage.
They're outliers, yeah.
They get celebrated.
Right. In hopes, I think they get celebrated in hopes that other people will feel like they too can be that person. And that to me is the lie, right? Because they don't represent a group. They're outliers. Like, they're the aberration in a way that's like, it fills people with hope in a way that's like, I think, actually destructive, because there's an expectation that you can do that.
I think that's right. And in particular, I think people don't necessarily appreciate the very sharp differences in your odds of rising up based on the schools you happen to attend or which neighborhood you grew up in or the color of your skin, right? Which is in the US an enormously important factor in determining your chances.
We're sitting here, we're three people, very successful people by anybody's standards. And, would you say, Raj, do you think that like us three have not having the opportunity and the neighborhood and the education that we had, did we just win the embryonic lottery? Is there another version of our lives where we were born somewhere else where we do just as well? And how likely would that have been?
Yeah, I mean, I'll speak to that for myself. To me, I completely feel like I won the lottery. And the way I think about that most saliently is I have many cousins who I was referring to earlier, all of whom were all named for our maternal grandfather. We all have the same name, Raj.
And the Rajas, you could start a band.
That's right. And we grew up in different places, so we were often referred to by kind of Boston Raj, Singapore Raj, and so forth. And when I just look at how our lives have shaped out, everyone's happy in their own life course and doing the best they can. But the opportunities we've had are just so dramatically different that to me it just underscores that this is about chance, really. And taking advantages of the opportunities you're given, of course, but those opportunities are central.